Yeah. Your first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousin, fifth cousin, sixth cousin. Anyway, we're gonna be discussing how I almost drowned. Now you making me mad. Just because I don't like them, why are you getting mad at me? I don't watch them. Don't get mad at me because I don't. And the SmackDown 3 at TLC as well after Brian Kendrick lost to Brian earlier on tonight. And finally, Buddy Murphy is confirmed for the get on your knees, bow down to Mr. Evil. Yes. I am back with another video joined by Koyoshi. I am at oh Lord. That Pepsi. Here we go.
Oh yes, here we go.
Ow! What the heck? Roman Reigns did it! Roman Reigns did it! The Brock Lesnar reign is over! Cause they ain't gon' say nothing. Because actions speak louder than words. And they tell you something. You better tell them. Go to Coletrain Road. I'm gonna take my horse to the Coletrain Road. We gonna ride till we can't no more. Yeah. Hey. Any, mini, money, mo, cha-cha, bada, bada, blow, upon a bada, leave a no, when they bring it around the school, understand I run the show, international, I'm gonna go, I stay 100, I keep it homegrown, I live for million plus, and all the people know.
What the fuck?
Million people didn't click it, because they already knew that it was gonna be shit. I rate you though, JJ, you've made stacks, but the fact is
Glorious at everything you do. And be phenomenal or be forgotten. It's not a staple. It's a way of life. See you guys later.
Coletrain Production has not only provided a platform for up-and-coming creators with the Universe Mode War, but has 3 dynamic brands that contain everything you look for in professional wrestling. You want chaos. You want anarchy. You want to be waiting on bated breath to see what's next? Then Monday Night Raw may be for you, with champions leaving you to question what is right and wrong, and wrestlers who march to the beat of their own drum. You need to have eyes in the back of your head if you want to escape the red brain in one piece. But maybe you like your wrestling in its purest form, combining the stars of the past, along with the new faces of today. Enter NXT, a brand that has shown time and time again that inside and even outside of the ring, that if you want to be the best, you have to push yourself to the limit every single time. Whether it's a technical masterpiece, the fast-paced action of the tag team division, or even the violent encounter that plague these wrestlers, you want action, you want intensity, you need NXT. But you know what they say, variety is the spice of life, and SmackDown provides that in spades. From the towering United States Champion Walter, if you blink, you may have missed the captivating World Champion Ricochet, or even the cold and calculating Seth Rollins. Welcome to the Wasteland. Welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. But, however you like your wrestling, you are guaranteed to find the show for you. Whether it's the newness of WCW and ECW with the Universe Mode War, or the mainstay of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, we can assure you whatever you watch will be phenomenal and never be forgotten. Subscribe to Coletrain Production. Welcome to a world that very few have entered and no man will leave the same. A world that demands bloodshed to unlock the door of victory. There will be no disqualification, no counter, and nowhere to hide. At WrestleMania, we open the floodgate and let chaos reign. WrestleMania. Fans may call it the biggest spectacle in all of professional wrestling, but to the men and women of CTP, this night is more than just a bright light. This is more than a fashion show. And as the end of an era approaches, this is where wars are waged, grudges are settled, dreams captured, and grief begins to those who taste the bitter pill of defeat.
Whoa, boss man. All that is true, but you have to think. CTP WrestleMania is in London this year.
Well, first, I don't know where you came from, and I don't know how you got here. But since you are here, go ahead, shoot your shot.
While the pill of defeat may be taken, they will fight in front of the most passionate fan bases of all time, the United Kingdom audience. The same audience that has seen classics such as Bret the Hitman Hart versus Davey Boy Smith, or John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. Now, on the biggest stage of them all, with WrestleMania, where all-time memorable moments have occurred, the gladiators of CTP look to cement themselves as some of the all-time greats, making their last stand for a brighter future.
Wow, that was good. I'm really impressed. Well done.
Well, I'm used to it. I'm always here to carry you, boss man.
Anyways, which one of these warriors will carry themselves to victory, scratch and claw their way to the top of the mountain, and plant their flag in the sands of time, indicating that CTP was here, and that London, England will never be the same. It is time for the Titan to clash, the earth to shake, under the magnitude that is the biggest show in all of professional wrestling. It is time for WrestleMania.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. 9 years. It is surreal to be sitting here to you today saying that Coletrain, the Coletrain channel, established May 16th, 2016, is officially 9 years old. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ColetrainIX, the year of IX, I like to call it. I am your host, your founder, your leader, your amazing Coletrain. And y'all see the titles in the background. Y'all see we got a little new something new. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. Okay. It is one of the proudest things I can say, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why we have not had videos in 3 weeks, the reason why we have not uploaded in weeks is because your boy is officially a college graduate, ladies and gentlemen. I have graduated from college. I am officially a computer science alumni for my Bachelor's of Science degree. So from now on, it is ColetrainCTP B.S. Okay. I will be having that in my videos like this in person for the rest of the time. I don't know why. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. I'm getting text already. I'm a busy man. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is great to be here. I am wearing this shirt, alumni. Okay, I know it's kind of backwards on y'all screen, but it says computer science alumni. I want to put that out there. Today, we're going to retell the story of how it all came together. We're going to do it in 2 sections. So prepare, get your popcorn. I don't know how long this is going to be. You had that amazing intro that I put together myself, telling you everything about Coletrain Productions. I really want to go all out for this 9-year anniversary. This is the video part. But at the beginning, you seen the transitions from the funny moments, from the videos, the things that Dynaman added, to the things that Sammy Talks did. I think I might have put that in there. I don't know if I did or not. From the things that J&W, from the things that J&W talked about, from the season 7, from to now the season 8, to the more recent WrestleMania show that we did. I put all that together at first, and now we're going to tell the story of how it all came together. We're going to tell the story of my first ever video. The last time I did this, I had a terrible, terrible thing. It was Storytime 13. I don't know if you guys remember this. Most of you guys, based on that poll, were not here. Last time I told this story, it was Storytime 13. I was sitting not in this bed. This bed was different. It was a little shorter. You know, I have my current bed that I have right now that I sleep in. I sat there with a blue shirt on right before school. I recorded that at 6:35 a.m. in the morning, right before I got on the bus. I sat down and recorded that video for 13 minutes with not yelling, not having any quality mic, not having anything of substance with that, with New Edition playing in the background, NE Heartbreak. That was the last time I recorded a video that stated my purpose of why I started YouTube. It was absolute garbage. It was pinned on my channel for a few years. I'm not sure if you guys were around to see that. And I still cannot believe I kept that pin for so long. I did. It was absolutely garbage. I didn't have no facial hair. I was a young man, didn't know anything. I was naive, did not have the smarts that I do now, and was not that tall back then. You know, I was a little short guy. You know, people say I'm still short. Screw you, expert in Talton. For you, I know you guys gonna watch this, but I'm not that short. Okay, I'm not that short. My cousins say I'm short too that are watching this. Yeah, it's not my fault. Y'all took all the height. Okay, I should have got that height. I always say I would be unstoppable if I was like 5'8". You would not be able to tell me nothing if I was 5'8" or not. Just saying, no. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. That was an absolutely terrible video. So we're going to redo it again and tell the story properly. Let's set the scenes, okay? It is 2016. We're going to start off with the original, how everything came together. It is 2016. I just recently graduated from 8th grade. I recorded a video the day of, I believe it was I'm not too sure. I have to go back and watch the video. But it was it was one of my first vlogs I ever made. It was absolute garbage, by the way. Y'all can probably find it on this channel. I don't delete videos. If you can't find a video, then that means YouTube must have took it down due to their current terms of services. I do not delete my old videos. You can go back and watch my Welcome to the 60s, 70s, and 80s playlists I used to do here on YouTube. I keep that for memories. I want to show my kids that. I want to show my future person I get married to that. I want to show them what your father was doing at 13. When people ask me, what were you doing at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, they can go back and look at this YouTube video, my YouTube videos. I want to show you guys that. As long as YouTube keeps those videos on there, I will keep them on there. They're not monetized. They were uploaded at the time with their current terms of services. Some of those videos are blocked in certain countries because of the music. Some of those videos are blocked because they're absolutely cringe. Some of the things I did in those videos, I was a kid, so I was a teenager, so I don't regret any of that. I don't delete old videos. If you can't find a video, then that means YouTube must have took it down themselves. So back then, I about a year before that, I was recording videos with my two cousins. Now I'm going to give them not their actual names, because that's what I always do with my family here, unless they state their name like Bruce does, Bruce Green Jr., because Bruce wanted his name on here. So unless my cousins tell me to say their actual names, and I won't. So I'll keep them to their YouTube and internet names at the time. So Cool Yoshi was you guys know, was one of the founders of Coletrain Productions. We did a video with King Mello at the time. Now, my cousin now is a rapper. Shout out to my cousin. I love him to death. But he's an aspiring rapper, and he loves to rap. He loves to make music. So he used to call himself King Mello. Now he got King Mello from, and this is what he told me, is he got King Mello from Carmelo Anthony. That was one of his favorite NBA players at the time in 2015 when he made his channel. Now, my cousin blew up pretty fast on YouTube. He hit 500 subscribers way faster than I did. I guest starred in one of his videos. I always wanted to do YouTube, but I just never had the inkling, and I thought I didn't have the personality at the time. Back then, you'll be surprised. I was one of those kids that went to school and went home. I didn't do much. I was not actively involved. I was very shy. I didn't really break out into my shell, and my family can tell you this, until I got into the 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. College, I just exploded. Now, I don't care about going in front of public people and talking in front of people. I still get a little nervous. Everybody do. But I'm more comfortable of doing it because my personality shows now. From 9 years of doing YouTube, going into a public space and talking to people is not that bad. Yeah, I have some nerves about that because I deal with some things mentally, but I can do that in my sleep now. But back then, I was really nervous about getting on YouTube. I had a lot of self-love issues, and this is me being transparent with you guys. Y'all know how I am. I had self-love issues. I didn't think I was good enough for people. And now 9 years later, that is, turned on is healed. I didn't think that I had the personality to keep an audience for that long. So my cousin was like, "Nah, come on. I think you're funny. I think that you'll like this." So I gave him a chance. This was summer 2015. Almost 10 years ago now, almost 10 years ago to this day, actually. We're coming close to the 10-year anniversary of those videos. Back then, I used to spend a lot of time during the summers with family members. I used to go to my grandma's house a lot. I used to go to be with my uncles. I used to be with my dad a lot during the summers because I spent more time with my mother during the school year. So my parents during the school year. So in the summer, I used to connect with my first cousins. Me and my first cousins are still very, very close. We don't talk as much as like we used to, but I was very, very close to my first cousins growing up. Obviously, when you get grown, your time is spread, so you don't have that much time to spend with family. That just happens in adulthood, but y'all got to make that time yourself. And I'm going to make that commitment with this next degree to spend more time with my first cousins. But I used to see my first cousins almost every week. Back then, we were younger, so we had a lot of time together, and we sat down and recorded our first video. It was a World Star Hip Hop Questions. I believe it was episode 2, the one they did in Chicago. It wasn't the first one they did. I think it was season 2, episode 1. It's coming back to me. We sat down and recorded that reaction, and it was one of the funniest videos I still haven't made to this day. That was 10 years ago. So I was I'm 12 years old at the time I made that video 10 years ago. And around June or July of 2015, I made that video. And it was one of the funniest videos I still have ever made on YouTube, period. I love that video. I still go back. I think he still has it on his channel. I don't know if he deleted it or not. But I remember going back and watching that video multiple times, and there's clips from that video that are on some of my channel right now. Whenever my cousin say, "Cool Yoshi," he does not look like that no more, boys. Oh no, he's taller than me now. He's way taller than me, and and slimmer than me. So no. Y'all when y'all see Kuyoshi pop up, that's not Kuyoshi no more. Y'all probably wouldn't recognize Kuyoshi right now. But in a good way. He looks phenomenal. Like, that tall length, and tallest, he passed me up like, I'm gonna say probably like 3-4 years after that video released. He passed me up while I was in high school. He was taller than me when I was going to college. Make that make sense, y'all. What happened to me? Why didn't I get that growth spurt in high school? But he got it. And I'm just very upset about it. But anyway, that video came out and I read the comments and they were like, I went by the name Coletrain. So if you guys know, all my social medias outside of my personal social medias has my YouTube name and business name in it. Coletrain is a YouTube / business name I go by. Well, also with business with Deshaun too. Deshaun Train is also one of my names I go by as well. When I can't use Coletrain due to legality purposes, I use Deshaun. So, I did that intentionally. So if you guys follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, those are the years my social media were created. So Coletrain 2018 is literally the year I made my Instagram. Coletrain 2017 is the year I made my Snapchat. My Instagram and Snapchat are almost 10 years old. It will be 10 years old at the end of this decade. And I did not do that, thankfully, with my YouTube channel. So my cousin convinced me. He was like, this video did great. I think that you should give YouTube a try for a year. And if you hate it, just don't do it anymore. I needed something to do in the summer of 2016. I was going into high school. And at that time, I knew what I wanted to do with the career. It was either going to be in the medical field or in the technology field. At the time, I wanted to be a nurse. But I realized I'm not a good test taker, so I need to find another career path. So I was finding things that I can do for a career path, and I knew I wanted to do something related to computers. At that time, I didn't know I wanted to be a computer scientist, but I knew it was going to be something around that range of information technology and computers. But I also liked video production, and I also like producing content for some reason. I like making things. I love making things. I'm a very creative person. So I love making things as well. I know I can't draw and I can't make graphics. That's why I pay people to do that. But I love making things on the video production side. And one of my favorite YouTubers, and he still is my favorite YouTuber, Gresh came, and I used to love watching Gresh back in 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, when he was posting consistently. I still love watching Gresh's content. Gresh really influenced me to really create the Coletrain channel the way it is. I modeled my early content after Gresh. I did. My content after that was modeled after universe mode YouTubers like Mathwiz, Brennan Plays before he stopped talking to me and hates me. Mathwiz 97X, who I think they still go by that. All those early day YouTubers I modeled my universe mode after. But early content was modeled after the Greshes, the Blasphemous HD, the Dantes of the world. If you noticed, and if you were watching back then, that's where I got most of my personality. Most of my things were molded after those guys. Gresh being one in particular. Gresh was always my biggest motivator when creating content. And I still always thank him for this, because he was the reason why I sat down and made the channel. He was my biggest reason for that. And Tyrone Magnus as well. Tyrone Magnus, fun fact, was the first ever channel I subscribed to on YouTube. I always wanted to support him, and when he kept saying 1 million subscribers, I really believed that he was going to hit 1 million subscribers. So I created my channel in March of 2016. That's the anniversary I go to, the day the channel was created. And then the other anniversary is the day everything changed, was May 16th, 2016. Now, this is the first year that the anniversary video is not coming out on the anniversary because of graduation. May 16, 2025. I was getting ready to graduate college on May 17, 2025. So I could not get the anniversary video out on the day of, but we're still talking about anniversary today. So put it all in it together. We're here, and my dad and family wanted to celebrate most of the family going to high school. So me and one of my cousins, we graduated from 8th grade from our middle school, which will not be named. I don't know who's watching this. From our middle school, and we wanted to do a big family celebration at the end of May. So everybody was celebrating the end of the school year. I finished school early. I had 8th grade graduation, I believe 2 or 3 days before that, and my dad wanted to do a big celebration at on I think that was a weekend. I think that was a Saturday. I don't remember specifically what day it was. I just remember the day. I don't remember like the day that video was filmed. If that makes sense. I'll have to go back and see, but I don't have that iPad anymore because all that was recorded on an iPad. So I didn't really show my face that much in that video. I think that video was absolute garbage, but I keep it there for memory's sake. I called the podcast part 1 with King Mello. So y'all know I always had a vision that I wanted to make a podcast. And 4 years after that, the Train Talks podcast was born. So I always had that vision for a podcast. Always did. I admit in the year of our Lord 2025, I have not been consistent with my podcast, but that is going to change in the summer and fall of this year with me having a little bit more time than I usually do, because bachelor's degree requires a lot more time and energy to put into your studies, especially going to be in a STEM major, than it does a high school degree, high school diploma, I like to call it. So high school diploma is much more easier to get than statistically than a college degree is, especially in STEM. So I'll get back to my podcast eventually. And King Mello was in the video, Cool Yoshi, because that used to be his gamer tag. So that cousin that made Cool Yoshi, we used to play Mario a lot. He loved the character Yoshi, so he named his social media. Well, his social media name was Cool Yoshi, and some of his gamer profiles were Cool Yoshi. That's what he went by. So I had to come up with a name for myself. Now, how Coletrain was born. Y'all don't know this, but back in my early days when I was gaming, I loved anime. I loved first-person shooters. I loved single-player games. And I was a big Xbox fan. Now, I always owned both Xbox and PlayStation, but in the recent years, I've only owned a PlayStation, which recent past 2 console generations, I only bought a 4 and 5. But I used to buy Xboxes every time. I had Xbox 360. I got my Xbox 360 in December of 2009. I'll never forget opening up my Xbox 360. And the first game I ever got for my Xbox 360 was Gears of War 2. I loved Gears of War so much. And the reason why I loved Gears of War so much was in the summer of 2009. I was with my auntie. She went to her best friend's house at the time, and her best friend had a son. I still have not seen that guy since 2009, by the way. I can't recall his name. Even if I did, I'm not gonna say it on the internet. But I never forget, he was playing Gears of War 2, and he had a split screen. We were playing a story mode. I had never played Gears of War before this. Never played the first game, which the first game is coming to PS5 now. I finally have a chance to complete the first game. The only Gears of War that I have not played is the recent ones and the first one. I played 2, 3, Judgment, and I played 4. I have not played 5 and Gears 5. I haven't played the more recent ones that are coming out, and Gears 6. I think Gears 6 is out. I haven't played that one yet neither. So I haven't kept up with the Gears of War series in a while. But Gears of War 2 was so fascinating to me, and I loved it so much. And my favorite character on that game was not Marcus Phoenix, it was Augustus Cole. Okay. So I was like, I love this guy. And then he had the nickname. Marcus said, "Welcome back, Coletrain." And I said, man, that is it right there. So when I got my Xbox 360, I need a name. At first, I put my real life name in there. I just put like a little dots in there, just put my actual name in there. But I was like, nah, I don't think that will sell, which I was heavily wrong because a lot of people actually love my actual name, which is surprising. I didn't think my actual name will sell, but I use my actual name for all my tech stuff now these days. But the Coletrain brand has grown so much that I'm just going to stick to using it. But I go by both now. So people know me by Cole only. People don't know my real name, and they only know me by Coletrain, and they only know me by that. But then, which is fine with me because I have an internet presence. So I like to keep my two lives different. I only let people that I'm really close to know my actual name and stuff like that, and then they call me Cole whenever they do to come on YouTube. But the other people don't know my real name, I just like to be called Coletrain. That's just fine. I prefer you call me Cole or CT. I like that as well. If you're an internet friend, you can call me CT, Cole, or whatever, or you can say the train, or train coming through. That used to be one of my the nicknames my uncle used to call me too, because I used to use it a lot. I use it for everything that's not a personal internet thing. It's on my Instagram, on Twitter, X, whatever I want to call it. It's on my Blue Sky. Everything has something the semblance of ColetrainCTP or Coletrain in it, because it's just a part of the brand now. That's the brand. People say my best friend says the ego thing, but I don't think it is, because if it was an ego thing, I would use my actual name, because I love my actual name. And I correct people when they get it wrong. But I just didn't feel at the time a lot of people were butchering my actual name. And I was like, I'm not correcting you for saying the wrong thing every single time, because I will correct you. So I was like, nah, we're not going to use my actual name. We're going to use Coletrain. So I did do that. And when I made my gamer tag for Xbox in the summer of 2009, I put Coletrain and my birthday, 020903. That was what I went by for a long, long time on my internet. Until recently, I had to get a new gamer tag because, the one I use for my PS4, I can't use 020903 anymore. I have to use CTP _2025. Again, I like naming things after when I make them. I love using years. So it makes it easier for me to remember when things were made. So even when I made my Facebook, it has 2020 in there, because that's when I came. That's when I really 19 really when I came on Facebook, but 2020 was when I first made my Facebook. So yeah, that's just something that I used to do a lot, and that's where the name came from. It was pretty easy picking a name. It was like Coletrain, boom, right there. That's where it came from. And I remember when I played Gears of War 3, when he said, and then they had that flashback with the Coletrain, the football player. He said, I was the Coletrain, baby. Woo! And that's where the woo came from too. It was not from Tyrone Madness. A lot of people think that the woo man came from Tyrone Madness. Remember that gimmick? No, that actually came from Gears of War. Everything, that the mannerisms, the way he acted, how he presented himself, I got all of that from Gears of War, a fictional character. Yes. That's how all of it came together, and that's where the name came from. And it was pretty much smooth sailing from there. I finished that video and I told my cousin, I said, all right, I'm gonna give this 1 year and we'll see how it happens. And he was like, bro, you gotta show your face in your videos, because nobody they need to put a face to the name. And I was like, do I really want to do that? And I just started looking into it. I was getting more into my computer sciencey ways, and I was like, how can I do this? And I made some rules about most of my social medias and stuff. For all of them, and how I present myself. The Instagram is used for half YouTube, half real life. So you get a little peek into what I got going on in my real life, but you have more YouTube things, and it's under a YouTube name for a reason. Instagram is my business YouTube account. Now I'm going to make me a personal Instagram eventually. I'm looking into making more IG accounts when I get a new phone. So I can differentiate my audiences. And I'm going to make me a personal one, just so I can tell more personal things, post about more personal things on Instagram. And then I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna have that one, the other one just be the YouTube one, but it's still gonna be half real life, half YouTube. Snapchat is all, you get updates of what I got going on in real life, a little bit, and you get peek behind the scenes when I'm like going on trips and stuff. Because I post that like all that afterwards. Everything I post on social media is I've been long gone from it. I'm not at that place anymore. I do that for strategic reasons, for computer science reasons, which I think you guys should look up why you should do that. And then like for the Discord and stuff, I made that in 2020 because that was due to the pandemic when we had lost YouTube chats. That's why the Discord was made. So that's why most of the social medias are named that, and that's why what you see is like a little bit into my life, but at the same time you don't. A lot of y'all just know what my major, and some of y'all think I live somewhere that I don't live. I never tell people, unless you're in my personal life, where I live at. I never tell people what city I live in. The state, but this state's so big that could be anywhere across the world. And I'm getting phone calls. I still gotta explain the CTP stuff. But I'm about to call that person back. Sorry about that, y'all. But that's just how I run and how I ran the social media. And that's the story of the first video. It was podcast part woman came on. I made that in my former house. I don't live there anymore. I can't even tell you who lives there right now. And I made that video, and the rest is history. Now, getting to 2020. So this is when the live stream era was ended. How did the CTP formula get to YouTube? So the CTP formula got to YouTube from J&W Boss. J&W Boss was growing frustrated with me live streaming all of my content and having internet issues at the time. We had a lot of internet issues going on, and in late 2019 going on in my house because I did not live. I did not have. Well, let me say this: my room did not have the room with the router in it, the router for the Wi-Fi. My room did not have that. Okay. So I had to rely on the router being a couple feet away from me whenever I was making my live streams. Now, I did not have the manpower to fully edit my videos like I do now. I have 2 laptops now. I have a fully fledged editing software that I'm a lifetime member of, and I'm looking to buy another editing software in 26 and 27. And I have a fully fledged computer now where I can do all my YouTube things on. At that time, I didn't have that. So I could not do those things like I used to do with that. So I had to stream all of my content. One of my close high school friends that I still keep in contact with, but same time I don't. He became a YouTuber. He started streaming his NBA 2K17 stuff. I always wanted to bring my universe mode that I did started offline to YouTube, but I just never had like the thing to do it. So I said that I was going to do that whenever I get the equipment. But JW Boss said, "Hey, I'll help you out with editing and stuff." So I started building me a YouTube team. So I used to book majority of the storylines with my uncle and my cousin. We used to do that, okay? We used to book all the stuff. All right, we had to stop for a second, but I'm back. He said that he can help me with editing my videos, so I started making a team. Like I said, like I was stated before, most of the stuff was booked by 3 people, and 2 people that behind the scenes. I was the face of CTP. So we needed help. I'm not gonna lie, like booking 3 shows, majority writing most of the shows were was getting taxing. So my graphic designer, my first ever graphic designer on this channel, his name was Mark Will. 185, I think that he used to go after at the time. And then now he's King Graphics on Twitter. He's very, very big now. He's made things for Murphs, he's made things for Delzinski when he was doing this stuff, the big creators. He has made things for over the years. I was his test dummy. I was his first guy he made graphics for. He made graphics for the first ever WrestleMania that we did on this channel. And he was booking, and he wanted to help with NXT. I needed help. So he in exchange for graphics, I gave him a booking job. And I said that, okay, I couldn't fully fledge his visions that he wanted because I wasn't pre-recording. That's what I called it at the time, because I did not have a laptop. Everything was done through my iPad and phone. So how I was able to do all my live streams on like this was through my phone. I had an older phone at the time, and I had an iPad that's now going out, which I have a new tablet now, which I can properly now record things on with this new tablet. And it's how I take my notes. I do all my writing. So how I get my my daily plans together and stuff is do this nice tablet that I got for Christmas. You guys can't see it because it's a blurred thing. That's for a reason, because we're doing some unpacking right now. I just got back from college, so I'm trying to make sure I'm the center of attention. But yeah, y'all can't see it for reasons. But he came with the idea of helping me edit my videos. The rule was I had to record everything. So that's what we did. And that's where the CTP team format came in there. Eventually, we brought in Expert Gaming in early 2020. He did our Royal Rumble for us. And after that, I was sold on him being a member. He's been a member for almost 6 years now. Mr. Super Kid Gaming came in after Mark had to step down due to personal reasons. And then we had a fluctuation of teams, and that's where the Coletrain Productions format came from. And I forever think, I know he's going to watch this, J&W Boss for that. J&W Boss is the reason why you see CTP the way it is today. That's why I call him an alumni member. He was one of our first members ever. And out of that original crux of members that came in first, Expert Gaming is the only one that's standing left. Everybody else has become alumni or fully done with us, or are part-time. They're not full-time. Expert Gaming is the only one that's still left out of the original 2020 team that is still here. Super Kid Gaming didn't come in until season 7, which did not start until early 2021, mid 2021. I believe that's when, I think it was late 2020, early 2021. That's when season 7 started. I got to go back and remember. But Super Kid Gaming came in about 4 years ago. Expert is the longest tenured member of CTP. At 6 years. Of the YouTube crew. I'm the founder, so I've been here almost 12, 13 years. Since 2013, I've been here. We had a 10-year anniversary in 2023. This year we'll make 12 years of CTP. Next year will be 13. As the 20-year anniversary will be 2033. If we are still here on YouTube at that time. I don't know if I will be on YouTube at the time. I have no idea. That will be our 20-year anniversary. But to say and to sum up ColetrainIX, I want to give a big thank you to y'all. You guys are the reason why we're still standing strong 9 years later. Who have you known from 2016 to be as still here in the wrestling community, from one making wrestling content the way they still made it 9 years later, who and did not switch up on y'all? Give me some names, man. Give me some names. 2016 was, I feel like it's almost 10 years ago. I feel like it's still one of the best years overall that the society has had. I feel like ever since 2016, things have been downhill in a lot of ways. On YouTube has not been the same since 2016. Sports has not been the same since 2016. The landscape of America has not been the same since 2016. It's gotten, I say, a little worse than it has since then. At the time it was. And music hasn't been the same. I think, I feel like music, was at its peak from 2015, well, at least for our generation, the Gen Zers, from 15 to 20. That was at the time we had nothing but hits. It was fun. Now I don't want to dance to some of the hit songs. They get tiring at the time. Those songs did not get tiring. It was, Vine kept things fun. World Star was actually funny back then, and I don't know what happened to World Star. Ever since they got rid of that host they had, and they stopped doing goddamn 47, doing that, doing the questions. It sucked. World Star. I haven't looked at a World Star thing. I only look at World Star on Instagram now. I've watched a World Star YouTube video in over almost 10 years. Like, it's terrible. Gaming has not been the same since 2016. I think that was the last peak year of PlayStation. Honestly, PlayStation from 2016 to 18 were on fire. Ever since 19, you really haven't. The hits have been hit and miss for gaming. Gaming overall was great in 2016, 17, 18. That year was so important. The last of great things happened that year. And now, don't get me wrong, in 2025, we still have some great things coming. We're 1 year away, literally 300 right now, 370 or 376 days as of this recording from 300. Is it? Well, we're not. Oh, it's 375 plus 5. We're 380 or 6. You were 381 days from the next Grand Theft Auto game. As of the time I'm sitting down and recording this, and gaming overall is the most popular it's ever been since its existence. It's more popular, but it's more money. It's more it's becoming unaffordable. If you're not middle class, then you won't be able to enjoy gaming as of this time. But that's not a conversation for another day. I was just saying, thank y'all for keeping me relevant. Thank y'all for keeping me laughing. We're growing slower, at a slower pace than everybody else. But at the end of the day, what I got going on, what I want to do in my dreams, this is all fun. I would have never thought 9 years ago when I made that first video that I will meet the people that I met, do the things I've done, and make money off of this. I would never expect that. Now, is it enough money to say I won't need a computer science job to live my lifestyle? Absolutely not. But when I made this channel, and I want this genuinely from the heart. When I made this channel, it was not because of the money. I made this channel because I wanted you guys to have fun content. I wanted you guys to be inspired. I wanted y'all to come here after a long day of work or a long day of school and say, I want to watch something entertaining. I want to watch something funny. I want to watch somebody entertain me for an hour or two or for a video, or maybe 30 minutes to 15, 20 minutes, depending on how long the video was. And say, man, that video was funny as hell. That video was really entertaining. That video made my day. That was the end goal. Be phenomenal or be forgotten is my saying in life. Always ask people, how do you want to be remembered? And I'm going to go into motivational training in this video. And shout out to everybody that watched this whole video. Put ColetrainIX in the comment section if you watch this entire video. I'm going to ask you guys this question. How do you want to be remembered? When your name is called and your time is up on this earth, how do you want to be remembered? What work that you did in your life is going to make you be remembered in a good way? Do you want to be remembered as being that, yeah, this girl hit all their goals. They did this, they did that, they did that. They made a positive influence on the world. Or do you want to be remembered that you struggled and did not do anything because you didn't have the passion and will to do it? Ask yourself that question every morning you wake up. and get ready and tackle your day. How do you want to be remembered? And that's where I came up with be phenomenal or be forgotten. It's not just a saying, it's a way of life. It is a way of life. I want to be remembered as being phenomenal in everything I did. No matter the trials and tribulations I have, physically, mentally, spiritually, sometimes, I want to be remembered for being phenomenal at everything. Putting what does be phenomenal mean? I never ever broke that down. Be phenomenal does not mean be perfect. You will never be perfect. There will be some videos that you make on as a content creator that suck. There will be some videos that make you cringe. You will hate some things about yourself. For example, I don't like how my hair is in this video. I never said anything, but I feel like it could be a little. I feel like I could have did something better. But our presentation. But that's a critique I have of myself. I like everything else that's in here right now for me, for self-love, of course. But I think my hair could be better. But I always critique myself. I always critique every video I make. For example, I could have told that story a little bit better, so this video won't be almost 50 minutes long. But phenomenal doesn't mean perfect. Phenomenal means that everything you did in that day, everything you did in that year, everything you did in your life, you put your best foot forward. That's what be phenomenal means, or be forgotten. Be forgotten means you didn't try. Be forgotten means you didn't put your best foot forward. Be forgotten means there is no legacy for you. And that's the quote I say after every single video. I want you guys to be phenomenal or you will be forgotten. It's just that simple. I'm going to leave y'all with this and I'm done. How do you want to be remembered? And remember to be glorious at every single thing you do. That means have fun in everything you do. Have a passion for everything you do. Every day won't be great, but you got to be glorious. You got to want it. You got to live out your dreams, travel, get married, have kids, fall in love. I love seeing y'all on my Instagram, my fans, that y'all were 13, 14, y'all graduating high school and going to college and having kids and getting married. That means so much to me. And I had an influence like that. You thank me for giving you through hard times when you were depressed, and you thank me for helping you and motivating you to get through that test or get through that relationship, get through that trial and tribulation that you had, you got the help that you needed and all that stuff. I'm getting like I'm preaching now. I gotta stop. But that means so much to me, that those words I say after every video, when I make an in-person video, that's what I say. Be phenomenal or be forgotten, and remember to be glorious at every single thing that you do. I don't care if you just go into the bathroom. You have to be glorious at everything you do. Set a standard for yourself. Have standards. It's okay to be different. I promise you, no one is going to judge you if you are different from someone else. Don't be the same. Be different. Be bold. Be phenomenal. Thank you for 9 years. Thank you for 9 years of excellence, 9 years of persistence, 9 years of staying, 9 years of support. I love you all. I hope we're here for another 9 and many more to come. Thank you so much for everything. I've been your host, Coletrain. More videos coming soon. ColetrainCTP B.S. signing out. Y'all know how we always say it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. And remember to be glorious at everything that you do. Just for the old time. Peace.